Hello world, I'm the Executive Director of the Jersey Shore Arts Center, and we'll be filming today in room 3 with Anastasia, who is not here yet, but will soon appear, So today we're here with Anastasia Lawyer. She is our Pyrography teacher for our Session 1 arts classes. Say hi, Anastasia.
Hi guys, how are you?
So I invited Anastasia here today just so we can get an idea of what pyrography means. I mean, it's wood burning, right?
So pretty much wood burning is taking a hot pen and engraving into wood. So I have a transferred image here, and I'm going to take my wood burning machine that has lots of heat settings to create a wood burned piece.
Awesome. So let me just see something real quick. So you basically just transferred this image here from there. So you use like a carbon paper, pretty much.
I actually have a special technique that I will show in my class. I particularly don't use carbon paper because it leaves a mess all over the wood, which is really hard to get off. Last semester we did try carbon paper, but it was a big hassle and a big problem because, like I said, I was leaving graphite everywhere and it's really hard to erase once it gets on there. But you could always sand it down at the very end, which I do anyway, because sometimes when you burn too deep, it kind of creates a radiant burn around your image and it may not look as crisp. So sometimes it's nice to take a nice sandpaper and get all of that to go and show what you really want to unveil. So.
All right, and so just let me see some of the technique here. This looks really cool.
So pretty much I just follow my lines. Right now I have a high heat setting, and that's just because I'm going to do the outline of the butterfly and I want that to stand apart from all the smaller minute details. I have a larger pen that I'm going to be using for the longer lines.
So it's not just one pen, it's multiple pens.
Yeah, I use 3 pens. This is like the one that I mainly use for when I'm burning. And
it's like a paintbrush. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, everybody has their favorite paintbrush. It's like I have my favorite pen.
This is my favorite pen. It's just definitely versatile in anything. And even if I didn't have my smaller pen, which is just like a smaller, like very smaller version of this, I still could do what I need to do on a lower heat setting, but I like the smaller guy to get into those little teeny tiny points that I want to. So just to start, going to, and as I'm going, I like to stop a lot to see what I am doing and kind of rotate the piece.
And everybody gets fixated on that one, and then they try to do the hook to try to, and they're like, just turn the piece.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like work smarter, not harder. Beyond that, if you keep going with the pen, it will run out of heat retention, so I like to give it some time to like continue to heat.
Nice. So what made you start this?
You know, my sister had a wood burner for a while, and she was doing a lot of this, and it looked so meditative and nice, and it's like much different than all of the other art forms that I do, in a sense where you can take your time and really just relax and just do what you want. And there's really never any like accidents, and if there are, there's always happy accidents because you can fix it, just like painting, you know. You think like, oh, I created this burn and oh, it's there now, but there's always fixing it. Like I said with sandpaper, I always have an X-Acto blade nearby so that I can scratch away, like if I overburn or if my 2 lines don't meet, you can kind of erase in a sense.
Nice. It's forgiving.
Yes,
very forgiving.
And especially if you're painting it, it's even more so forgiving because, you know, you can definitely kind of flub what you've messed up and paint over the burns as well. So. And I love these pieces, like these slabs of wood. I've only been using these lately. They smell really good. But
I was just going to ask you about, like, is there like a hickory wood that you use, or a cedar, or?
I worked in conjunction with a woodworker that is based out of Asbury, and he gave me a dark walnut wood bowl that I think I sold that at one of our events, but. Yeah, it smelled so good and it was such a nice burn. I'm definitely going to be getting more from him in the future. But Yeah, I really like how meditative it is. It's really just like going through and just nicely carving out everything that you have already down on the wood.
Right.
So yeah.
So did you have to train like many years for this, or was this something where, you know, it was a class you took, or was this?
I think that just after watching my sister and seeing what she did, I was like, let's see how far we can take this. My sister did like very bold graphic images with not lots of detail, and I think that I like to push the medium and see how much detail I can get out of things. So I think that was what was so like enticing for me, was like, let's see what I can do with this. And like, I think that what makes wood burning so special is that like, even if you have no artistic background, you can just get an image. Like this image was an image that I pulled off of Google by an illustrator. She was based out of Germany and she died in 1776. And she was one of the first female botanical artists to ever come about to draw pictures of nature. So I just pulled this image from Google because I like her work, and I think that's what makes it special, is that, you know, even if you have no artistic drawing experience, that you can transfer these images to the wood, and then as long as you can somehow do deep breathing techniques to make sure that your lines are nice and smooth, you're just tracing lines. And I think it's just nice that it's like definitely a beginner. Right. You know, as a beginner, as intermediate, as advanced as you want to go, there's always a point like that you can learn how to do this.
See, I'm the type of artist that I just like to go at it and do my own.
Your own.
That's totally possible with this.
Oh, for sure. You don't need to, like.
You don't need to have a drawing. You could go at it without a transfer and still come up with something
amazing.
Yeah. Did you go to school for this, or did you go to school for art?
I did. So I graduated from Rowan with my bachelor's of arts. I did a lot of mixed media there. I didn't do a lot of wood burning, and they didn't really have many wood burning classes, which I thought was really silly because I feel like it's a really nice medium to work in. But I felt like everything that I did know really helped, you know, transfer to this medium. So I'm just making my way around this piece to hit all of the long lines, because this tip in particular is very long, so it likes long strokes. So just gonna follow through. Yeah, I had a lot of fun at Rowan. I learned a lot there, and I felt like I found my artistic voice there, and I really realized how many things I could do in art. I know like a lot of artists have like one main focal point, but I think that's what makes me special, is that I really like to do a lot of everything.
What else do you like working on?
So I've been making a lot of rugs lately.
Oh wow.
I got a rug gun for my birthday, and I've been doing a lot of rugs, and they seem to really be hitting off more so than some of my other artistic forms. The wood burning people really like. I think it's just relatable, and you know, it's a tangible object. That's why I also love this class, because there's a tangible object at the very end that you can, you know, give to a friend or hang up in your home.
A piece of you.
Exactly, and like this is what I learned how to do. I'm always referencing back to that's why I have a reference photo. Sometimes your lines get a little, like as you're working, you know, it fades away. So I'm always referencing back to make sure that I'm hitting the right marks and whatnot. So yeah. Definitely, and I'm always using different points of contact with the pen to ensure that I'm hitting the design correctly.
You had how many students last
session I had, what was it, 4 or 5 students?
I think you had about 5 students, yeah.
And they all came out with beautiful pieces. They found a lot of different cool like wood objects to burn that weren't just like slabs of wood. I know my one student had these wooden candlesticks that were really cool, and she made really beautiful pieces, and she freehand drew everything, which I highly suggest. I'm just very meticulous, and I like to know what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And like I said, Nicole, like it's awesome that like I showed my cousin how to do this, and it definitely takes a lot of trial and error, because you have to keep moving, and I think a lot of people like get nervous by like keeping moving, and they want to like keep the pen, but she makes some really cool stuff now, and I think that, you know, it's totally learnable, and you know, you can have a lot of fun. There's a lot of different techniques to learn to create a lot of different textures, and sorry, I'm like really trying to, but yeah,
will the burners, the students will have to go get their own burners? I mean, we as an organization will try to help with that, but
yeah, I will provide.
But the investment's there. I mean, once you learn the technique, you're gonna want to do it all the time.
Yeah, and you know, I hate to say it, but it really like the tool.
As an artist, you want to invest in your own tools.
Exactly. Yeah. The tool is a lot behind it, and I realized that last session with people who had burners from Michaels and whatnot, having a lot of issues with the heat retention of the machine and all that stuff. It was definitely a bust because they were seeing me do a lot of cool stuff. So I have a lot of different tools that I found on Amazon that are fairly reasonably priced and that will not give you a hard time and that will really make for a great product at the end of the day.
You've had this one for how long now?
My burners lasted me over 3 years now.
Oh wow! All right.
And it was pricey. It was over $100, but I've had these tips for over 3 years, which I should get new ones because the heat retention does go. It's metal, but like I said, I've had it for a while. You can always sharpen them.
Yeah.
They're always really good. The company Razor Tip is really good for like helping you with the warranties and whatnot. And making sure that your product is running smooth.
So we have the classes starting on the 28th of March.
Really
I think I forget, are you the Tuesday class or the?
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night. From
6
to 8. So that's great. You go home, you grab a little bite to eat, you come here, you take the class. Oh my gosh, after a hard day's work, this would be fantastic. Just to sit back and just focus on something other than work. Or family, or
That's why I love art, because it's like an escape from, you know, everything you do in your everyday life. And, you know, I like to keep it super easy. So I intentionally overburn so that I can give like a little erase here.
Oh yeah.
Within my piece.
I had a sculpture teacher named Steve that would always go, "We could fix that."
Yeah, exactly.
You need one of those teachers. You can fix that.
Exactly, and like, you know, I always give a stain at the very end. I haven't been painting my pieces because I feel like when you paint them,
you give them too much.
Yeah, it takes away a little bit of that like burn that you put down. So yeah, and I'm on my smaller pen, so I should have adjusted my heat setting.
So we're getting close to the time that we have to stop, but I just wanted to let people know that Anastasia's class is Tuesdays from 6 to 8. Registration is online at our website, jerseyshore.artcenter.org. Course Storm link is there. Here's one of the pieces that Anastasia finished. And that's beautiful. If I didn't know any better, that was almost a painting. That's fantastic.
Yeah, like I said, you know, you can achieve so much little detail, and I think not a lot of people realize that, but it's also, you can do something so simple and have such great results. So, like, this is a lot of the texture that I'll go through in my class, and, you know, really creating really beautiful pieces at the end of the class so that, you know, you guys feel good about yourself and what you've created.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming in today and
letting us video. For sure.
And I look forward to seeing more great work coming from you and your class coming up later this month. Thank you so much.
For sure, yeah. Definitely follow me at anastasia.madeit on Instagram for more cool art things.